Hey everyone! ChatGPTaylor aka Taylor here. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video will kind of bring things full circle. As some of you may remember, around this time last year, I posted 2 videos where I predicted the boot order for Season 4 of Disventure Camp. Now, if you haven't seen those videos yet, then I highly encourage you to check out those videos first before watching this one because it goes into a lot of detail that I might not cover here. But if you already watched it, then you're in the right place. Now that Season 4 of Disventure Camp is over, I think it's a good time for me to look back at my boot order prediction video and see how close my prediction was to the actual canon season. Now, the original script for this video went through every single elimination to see how far I was from the canon season, but then I realized that the video would be too long and full of unremarkable details. So for this video, I'm mainly going to focus on some of the highlights of my prediction, specifically where my predictions were either really close to the canon season, or really far away from the canon season. And with that, let's get started. Before I begin, make sure to like and subscribe if this video is to your liking, and make sure to comment down below if there's anything that you would like to see going forward. The first thing that I want to highlight are the first 3 boots. In my prediction video, I predicted that the first 3 boots, in order, would be Ted, Amelie, and Alessio. And in canon, the actual first 3 boots, in order, were Alessio, Amelie, and Ted. First off, I love that I predicted the first 3 boots correctly, even though I swapped Alessio and Ted. Admittedly, I thought that Alessio being voted out first was a more likely scenario, but because Odd Nation cartoons had a reputation for doing surprising eliminations, I really thought that they were going to set up a surprising elimination in order to set the tone for the season. And with Ted widely being seen as a potential antagonist, I thought it was possible for Ted to be blindsided as the first boot due to his strategic nature. But instead, Odd Nation cartoons stuck with the expected route of eliminating Alessio first, before making Ted the shocking 3rd boot and not bringing him back in the comeback challenge. And yes, I'm still a little sad that Ted didn't return. As for Amelie, I'm pretty pleased with my predictions regarding her. Not only did I correctly predict her to be the 2nd boot, but I also correctly predicted that she would be one of the returnees in the comeback challenge, and I was only 1 place off in predicting where she would finish compared to canon. So overall, I'm extremely happy with these predictions. The second thing that I want to highlight is my final 3 prediction. In my prediction video, I predicted that Anastasia, Logan, and Jade would be the final 3 campers. And to my shock, those 3 ended up being the final 3 in the canon season. Of course, I didn't get the order correct, but I think it's really cool that I managed to predict the final 3 from the very beginning of the season. And as a side note, this is the 2nd time that the person that I said I least wanted to win ended up winning the season. Back in Season 3, I said that out of everyone in the final 4, Rhea was the one that I least wanted to win, and she ended up winning. And this season, I said that out of everyone in the final 5, Logan was the one that I least wanted to win, and he ended up winning. So keep an eye out for next season's predictions, because I might accidentally predict the winner next time. And to cap off this section, I'm just going to bring up a couple other predictions that were decent, but not super accurate. For one, I managed to decently predict the circumstances of Marissa's elimination, which is that her elimination would push forward Anastasia's character arc. Granted, this matches better with Marissa's pre-merge boot than her post-merge boot, but I'll still count it. And number 2, I was decently correct in predicting that Spencer would be a big focus for the season, and that he would have an arc where he has to learn that being social is an important part of the game. Although, I genuinely thought that he would make it a lot further than 9th place. But that's about where my correct predictions generally end. Now, let's go over some of the predictions that I was woefully incorrect about. To start, I want to talk about Diego and Spencer. In my prediction video, I predicted that Diego and Spencer would be the main couple of the season and would make it far together. Of course, not only did they not become a couple, but Diego was the 4th boot of the season. Don't get me wrong, I like that Odd Nation cartoons took a different direction with these 2 characters. And I don't think that my prediction was completely illogical. Up to that point in time, Odd Nation cartoons put a lot of focus on Tom and Jake as well as Aiden and James in their respective seasons. So, I thought that it made sense to predict that Diego and Spencer would also get a lot of focus. But of course, that ended up being wrong. Next, I want to talk about the Vibe Tribe. I was pretty much wrong with most of my predictions regarding these 3. For one, I thought that Sade was going to be the first one of these 3 to be voted out, and he actually lasted the longest, so that was a mistake on my part. I guess I just thought that his plot could be wrapped up the quickest. But in hindsight, I guess keeping Ivy and Zayd for longer would give them more time to develop their relationship, so that makes sense. And then there's Tristan, who I didn't think would win because of their gentle nature. However, I also thought that Odd Nation cartoons would envision Tristan to be a fan favorite, and thus, they wouldn't eliminate them early. But I guess Odd Nation cartoons doesn't factor that in as much as I thought. And for Ivy, I predicted her to make it to 7th, lasting longer than both Zayd and Tristan. I've seen some people argue that considering how Zayd didn't do much during the merge, that it would have been better for Zayd to be eliminated in episode 12 and for Ivy to continue in the competition. I don't really have an opinion on that, but I almost wish that happened so that my prediction for Ivy would have been correct. Then there are a few minor predictions that I want to highlight due to me being totally off about them. For one, I predicted that Hannah and Benji would be in a showman's, which of course, ended up not happening. Although from what I've seen, some people wish that they did get into a showman's, but that's beside the point. And on the topic of Benji, I predicted him to be the 5th boot, when he ended up making it to the merge. Honestly, I wanted Benji to make it further, but at the time that I made the video, I saw so many people predicting Benji to be an early boot because of his awkward social interactions. And because of this, I was scared of being wrong by putting him as a merge boot, so I kept him as an early boot in my predictions. Perhaps this is a sign that I should listen to my gut. And for a couple more minor predictions, I thought that Isabel would be a little more villainous throughout the season, but I guess that sort of came true. And finally, I predicted that Linda would make it to 8th place overall, rather than being a pre-merge boot. I guess I just thought that her rivalry with Anastasia would last a little longer than it actually did. And I'm sure that there's a decent portion of the community who also wished that Linda would make it further. Maybe we'll see that in a future season, perhaps. And before I end this video, I want to talk about one more prediction that ended up being wrong, but I really wish it was right. This prediction that I'm referring to is the idea of a team swap taking place in Season 4. I genuinely thought that Season 4 was going to feature a team swap. And not just a 2-person team swap like what happened with Spencer and Isabel. I'm talking about a full team swap that results in massively different teams. And honestly, I'm still surprised that we haven't gotten a full team swap yet. Since team swaps were once a staple of Survivor, and knowing how much Odd Nation cartoons is inspired by Survivor, I feel like it's inevitable that team swaps will appear at some point. And truthfully, I'm fully expecting a team swap to take place in Season 5. With 26 episodes and a cast of 24 campers, there's plenty of time to throw in a team swap partway through the pre-merge. I'm not saying it has to happen, but I'll be genuinely surprised if it doesn't happen. But I guess we'll find out in time. And that about does it for this video. How well did your predictions hold up throughout the season? Did you make a lot of successful predictions? Or were they mostly busts? Either way, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like the video, click subscribe if you really like the video, and for some ending words of wisdom. Next time you don't want a camper to win the season, don't voice that opinion on the internet, because chances are that fate will want to make you look silly by having that character go on to win the season. Thank you, and farewell.